Some other girl and guy would love this swirling sky, but there's only you and I, and we've got no shot. This could never be. You're not the type for me.
Really?
And there's not a spark inside. What a waste of a lovely night.
It's a discussion also that cinema changed the society or society changed the cinema. But nowadays it's happening that cinema is changing the society. As a filmmaker, I feel sad when the people, especially the directors, are after money. Then as per the research, the acid attacks, they started increasing. And after that, rapes were also reported in a way. And violence in love. Certain cinemas is the beginning of the violence in love.
You say there's nothing here. Well, let's make something clear. I think I'll be the one to make that call.
What's your call?
Particularly our young population, I can say the relation without thought. Relation without thought is that I found a girl, she's a beautiful, so her dress sense is nice, without thinking my limits. I start having a conversation. Finally, time comes when we have the relationships, and without, I can give the example, they are short-term relations. They are absolutely the short-term relations, because particularly if you talk about the students, one important thing is because of fear associated with that short-term loneliness leads to stress, leads to other psychological issues. It is really, we can say that, very horrible thing.
When you get into a relationship, you have to be open that it's a relationship. It's only with time you will know how it's working or panning out. Not at the beginning thinking that, yes, this is the person for me. I mean, that's not how it works. And that's something that I think people need to be more aware of. Girls sometimes get more emotionally dependent, but not always. A lot of boys also do. I mean, as they say, the genders are changing and they're becoming more similar. So I think we need to keep our mind open. It's just normal to hook up with anyone. It's a very cool thing these days. The world has changed, but not really. That kind of breaks, it takes a big toll on the relationship and on the person. So, I think one needs to see that, what is a kind of a healthier alternative. And अगर हम multiple partners की तरफ गए हैं, multiple hookups किए हैं, तो ऐसा हो क्यों रहा है? Easy availability है, ठीक है, तो वो तो easy availability alcohol की भी है, तो हम फिर भी रोज़ तो जाके ड्रिंक नहीं कर रहे ना. एंड उसका इम्पैक्ट भी तो हम सोचते हैं अपनी बॉडी पे, अपने माइंड पे. तो कहीं ना कहीं आई थिंक थोड़ा रीथिंक भी करने की ज़रूरत है.
The person, whoever is involved into multiple sexual partners, may land into infections, especially women, even men of course, and the most prevalent infection which can lead to cancer is human papillomavirus, and of course other sexually transmitted diseases. And similarly, emotionally it is very distressing, because when a person is involved, so much energy is invested into a relationship, because those relationships and hookups give you pleasure, and with pleasure comes expectation, and when those expectations are not met, that leads to depression.
when a relationship ends ना, you go through the stages of grief. जैसे आप किसी की डेथ पे जाते हो, उसमें भी stages of grief होते हैं, तो वो स्टेज से निकल के फिर हम ठीक होते हैं. तो relationship में भी कई बार it's like the death of someone, because like the end of the relationship or the death of the relationship, and some people, you know, get stuck in it. They may not come out of it only for years. See, depression is a condition where at least आप 2 हफ्ते persistently बहुत low feel करते हो और रोज low feel करते हो और आपका दिल नहीं करता कुछ करने को, or you have sleep disturbances, appetite disturbances, your motivation, mood, interest, social interaction, you may socially withdraw or you may get irritable or agitated. So typically it's considered an illness, you know, जो actual depression है.
I will strongly suggest to my young generation that we should not use any type of toxic things like alcohol, like drugs or smoking. No, I'll suggest yes, when we have the breakup, we have the emotional burst, we have the emotions behind it. And I will give the example of like balloon, you put the air, a time come when it bursts. Same thing, you have the emotions that time. You need someone to realize. I will suggest you one thing. Either cry, that is a positive strategy. We, as a psychology student, I always say that what you should do, you should follow the positive strategies. We call it in psychology, we call it coping strategies. I will say positive coping strategies should be followed.
This is a very emotional thing. I have seen very bad situations happen. I must have seen or heard 1 or 2 suicide cases also happening because of a breakup. One thing to remember, for every girl or boy, everyone should understand that this is not a mockery or not a joke. Human relationships and physical relationships are to be cherished, they are to be nurtured. And of course, if there is a breakup for whatever reason, it is not the end of the world. Everyone should remember that life is beautiful, a trauma I would call it. It may be small, it may be big, but it will pass. It will never remain forever. So please talk to your parents, talk to your doctor, talk to a psychologist. There are healers, there are therapists. Talk to people and get out of that trauma.
यूथ को रिमेंबर करने की ज़रूरत है कि हम सब यूनिक हैं एज इंडिविजुअल्स, यू नो, एंड अगर हमें किसी एक पर्सन ने ब्रेकअप किया है या हमें लगता है कि उसने हमें रिजेक्ट किया है, एंड दैट्स फाइन, इतने सारे लोग हैं, है ना, तो हो सकता है आपकी कंपैटिबिलिटी किसी और के साथ है. इट कुड बी कि हम रिजेक्शन इसलिए फील कर रहे हैं बिकॉज हमने डिसाइड कर लिया है कि नहीं, मेरे लिए तो जी एक ही है और कोई नहीं है. और कहीं ना कहीं ये थिंकिंग आई थिंक थोड़ी गलत है.